Cognitive arbitrage is defined as the gap between your perceived autonomy and a commercial building's calculated systemic design. This strategy, known as the Gruen transfer, is an architectural design engineered to strip away your spatial awareness and induce mild sensory overload. Wandering through a shopping mall is a managed outcome of the architecture, rather than a self-directed leisure activity. Malls intentionally exclude clocks and windows to the outside world. To keep you within the environment, designers utilize dazzling floor textures and calibrated ambient lighting that capture and redirect your visual attention. These non-linear walking paths are explicitly designed to disrupt the brain's natural navigational script. When the internal map fails, critical thinking drops and impulse control dissolves. You enter a highly suggestible reactive state. In this state, the specific items on your original shopping list are instantly invalidated by the environment. The structure functions as a deterministic trap, designed to sustain your movement until your financial reserves are extracted. This strategy extends directly into modern food engineering, where massive corporations utilize chemical leverage to completely bypass your natural biological boundaries. The bliss point is the precise chemical optimization of sugar, salt, and fat, designed to maximize palate pleasure. In nature, energy-rich foods provide a distinct biological signal that stops consumption once you have enough. Chemical leverage dismantles the biological boundary of willpower, forcing continued consumption of these engineered items. Variables like food density, calculated structural crunch, and chemical release speed are calibrated to create an illusion of nourishment. Consumption triggers an immediate dopamine surge, but as this graph shows, the food lacks the nutritional density to trigger the satiety hormone leptin. While dopamine spikes repeatedly, the hormone telling your brain it's full remains completely unresponsive at the baseline. This feedback loop leaves you experiencing intense neurological pleasure while remaining chemically starving. The resulting reward loop never closes, forcing you to continuously finance a state of perpetual dissatisfaction. These same scripts govern modern pricing models, where artificial values are used to bypass rational economic calculation. The anchoring effect is a cognitive bias where the mind relies disproportionately on the first piece of information it receives. Retailers establish an artificial baseline by showing a luxury item marked down from $1,200 to just $299. The brain ignores the true value of the object and focuses entirely on the perceived mathematical victory of the discount. The original price functions as an anchor, a psychological weight dropped into the subconscious to make the second price appear necessary. Pricing scripts also utilize asymmetric dominance, or the decoy effect. In a standard choice between a $3 small coffee and a $7 large, consumers naturally balance their budget toward the cheaper option. Corporations introduce a third, asymmetrical choice, a medium option at $6.50. Your brain spots this variance, recalculating the largest option as the best value. The medium is a ghost choice, driving you to the highest tier. You surrender capital for an unneeded asset by following a pre-engineered transactional script, under the illusion of a bargain. Digital platforms utilize variable ratio reinforcement to manage user behavior. This is the same psychological protocol that powers casino slot machines, seamlessly integrated into the operating systems of personal devices. If every digital action yielded a predictable result, the brain would grow bored and break the habit loop. Modern algorithms deliberately deliver these rewards unpredictably, using calculated micro-delays that flawlessly mimic the spinning reels of a casino game. Absolute uncertainty forces the brain to release dopamine during the anticipation phase, which completely dwarfs the actual reward phase. While the user believes they are checking for utility, their neurological system has been rewired to seek validation from the machine. Digital traps also weaponize evolutionary survival mechanisms through loss aversion. Behavioral economics shows that the psychological pain of losing a resource is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining it. E-commerce platforms trigger this vulnerability by creating artificial scarcity, such as stock warnings and countdown timers. These timers hijack the logical processing center, replacing utility analysis with raw survival panic. The purchase stops the psychological discomfort of the ticking clock through an orchestrated illusion of urgency. These interfaces substitute genuine utility for survival panic. By siphoning away attention through constant, fragmented rewards, the system trades your cognitive clarity for a state of perpetual digital dependency. The matrix of manipulation targets your immediate, reactive emotional state. The corporate script wins the moment you act on impulse. Cognitive insulation is the required defensive posture for surviving these engineered environments. To counter the artificial neurological urge, apply the 72-hour friction rule. Delay every non-essential transaction by exactly 3 days. Removing yourself from the environment allows the artificial dopamine spike to clear from the nervous system. Once the chemical storm subsides, the illusion evaporates and the prefrontal cortex regains narrative control. Against a system engineered to exploit your biology, temporal friction and absolute clarity are your only leverage to take your power back.